company, always on the run. A destiny, oh, it's the rising sun. I was born, a shotgun in my hands. Behind the gun, I'll make my final stand. Yeah, and that's why they call me Bad Company. I can't deny bad company till the day I die. Until the day I die. Until the day I die. Rebel souls, deserters we've been called. Chose a gun and threw away the sun. Now these towns, well, they all know our name. The death punch sound is our claim to fame. And that's why they call me Bad Company. I can't deny bad company till the day I die. Until the day I die. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, blood for blood. We've all gotta die. We've all gotta die. And that's why they call me Bad Company. I won't deny bad company till the day I die. Until 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 the day I die.
Welcome to a very special edition of Talking Shit, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian. With me,
I'm Mark.
there we go.
Normally
You
say
got that
something-
out there, dude.
And normally you say something different. So
I do normally, but
Yes.
it's not a normal day, man.
yeah. Well,
What's happened? How you doing?
well, let's just first put it out there. Tuesday's show was a little mix-up. That's why we weren't able to do it. But we did reschedule it, though. Brian, when did we reschedule it? Do you remember?
With Christian Noakes, man, I don't have it in front of me.
June 10th.
For June 10th.
Yes, we're going to be doing like 3 shows in less than a week in the beginning of June. And
Doesn't pay me enough for this shit.
Brian's sitting there like, yeah, screw you. I know how much he likes that. The shows in June will be interesting. Next week we're going to take off because Brian thinks he needs a birthday, but I agreed to it because it's his wife's birthday too.
You only did it because it's my wife's birthday, not mine.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, screw you, buddy.
But I did get him a birthday present. I didn't get her one. I got him one.
Yeah, that's true.
Mine is to take you away from it all. Hey, check that out. We got another one.
Hell yeah.
Do you see the name?
Yeah, what branch of the military is that guy in?
Yeah, we'll find out in a minute.
All right.
Let's start it off. Actually, two of them's been on our show before, so let's start off with the two that haven't been on our show.
Let's go.
We're gonna bring on Ann and Rachel. They're from the Air Force.
Hello.
Yes.
Ann and Rachel, how are you guys doing today?
And a
We're
dog
good.
that I don't know.
This is Dobby.
Nice.
That's
He's
a little
been in here for
that's a little fast one, huh?
Shoot. Yeah, we don't try to catch him anymore. We just let him go and run and stop, and then we get there eventually.
Just listen, you fatten him up, he'll slow down. Not really, but
That
No,
dog probably
no.
will never gain
He's-
weight.
He's 10 years old, so he still goes.
oh Jesus.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Final countdown. It's the final
Stop
countdown.
it.
Oh, stop it. All right. What did you all actually, before we start asking questions, I guess, how did y'all end up in the military? Let's ask that question first.
Okay. So I didn't have a college fund. And one day the Air Force recruiter was in my high school. Funny story. I was a cheerleader and it was February. So we had our bodysuits on that have your name stenciled on your neck, on the turtleneck part. And I was like, oh, I said something. And he's like, yeah, Rachel. And I was like, how do you know my name? Complete blonde moment. And he was like, it's on your neck. And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I just went home and said, hey, Mom, joining the Air Force. And I was 17 at the time. So my parents actually had to sign me up. So my dad was like, Rachel, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, just sign the paperwork, Dad.
Delayed enlistment.
And then that was, that was in 2000. And then it was just going to be for one enlistment. And I was getting out and going to college. But I got pregnant and then it became a career. And 20 years later, I retired.
20 years must be nice.
And in case you didn't know, she's from upstate New York.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Well, I was born here at Keesler, here in Mississippi, where we're at, visiting family, but grew up Crystal River's home. I joined because at the time my dad was prior military, and I love structured organization, all discipline stuff. We were well disciplined growing up, and I just couldn't wait to.
That's
I
a
love
lie.
Crystal River, and
That's a lie. I know your family. I know that's a lie. You
We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that too. I'd like to add to the stage Mr. Arliss Walker. Arliss, how are you, sir?
Not too bad. How you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Hey
That's why
there.
we're here.
What's that?
I said, we're fantastic. That's why we're here.
That's right.
Hey, I just sent in the link too.
Arliss, real quick, you want to introduce yourself and the branch that you serve?
Well, my name's Arliss Walker, and I served in the United States Army.
you.
Wound up going in back in '89, and I was 93 Delta surface-to-air missile stationed out of Fort Bliss, Texas.
Oh Lord.
It sounds like the women know something about Fort Bliss, Texas.
Well, I believe that.
Yeah, it's not a vacation spot. Yeah, I don't recommend it.
We have another young lady joining us all the way from
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Hello. It's a rough life.
Yeah, hard assignment.
Jill, introduce yourself and let everybody know what you do and all that.
Hello, I'm Jillian. I am in the Marine Corps. I enlisted in 2023, December. That's when I graduated anyway. That's when I became a real Marine, they say. And I went to Goodfellow, Texas for around 6 months after that. And then I got stationed in Hawaii. I'm in the intelligence field. Shocker, I know, for a Marine.
Yeah. Hey, you didn't hear that from
So I hear you're a sailor. Is that right?
Yeah. Jarheads.
So hold on, Brian, before you say anything else. So since we got a few of them already represented, why don't you tell your story?
Quick and easy and to the point. I joined the military right out of high school as well.
Branch.
The Navy, and the National Guard. So I did some active time in the Navy as a damage controlman, a firefighter. And the only reason I joined was because I wanted to see the world, and it was great because I found out after I joined that 70% of the world is made of water. So I got to see a lot of that. So I have a lot of great friends and allies that still support everything that we've done in our past, as well as the Air Force, Army, Marine Corps, even the Coast Guard. Believe it or not, that we all kind of get together here and there and kind of hang out. So that's my story in a quick nutshell.
I'm still hoping that our friend from the Coast Guard, I didn't say the whole Coast Guard this time, our friend from the Coast Guard joins us. I'm not sure if he is or not.
Brendan would be a nice one to have on the show. He's kind of like Jillian, though. He gets like all these cake duty stations. You know what I mean? So let's talk about that, though. Let's talk duty stations. I'll start down here with Arliss. Arliss, when you joined and after you left Texas, where did they put you?
We got to travel to the beautiful Panama.
Oh.
So I was there for, a little bit of dust up and stuff, and then came back to White Sands, New Mexico. So
I know that base.
yeah.
That don't seem like it'd be a good base.
No,
range, dude.
yeah, it was a little bit better than Fort Bliss, but not by much.
Better than Fort Leonard Wood? Anybody been to Leonard Wood?
Oh, Fort Lost in the Woods.
Fort Lost in the Woods?
Yep, been there.
Yeah.
Didn't like to stay, but been there.
Just so y'all know, I don't know if they're still doing it out of there, but that is where they do their chemical, biological, and radiological warfare stuff.
Now I know what happened to your hair.
that happened long before. That happened long before that, Mark. So.
But I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of myself to thank these ladies, yourself, and everybody that might be listening or going to listen. Thank you for your service, your sacrifice away from your families. It means a lot. I know you guys know, we use our platform a lot to bring awareness to our military veterans, and we try to give back as much as possible. So on behalf of all of us, which I'm sure the ladies don't know who I am, but thank you guys.
They will by the time you leave.
Well, thank you.
We were gonna let you talk about a little band called the Southern Outlaws. Do you know?
I have no idea who those guys are.
I heard that they go on the radio over in Australia a lot.
Yeah, matter of fact, the new single that's coming out is it's now debuting over in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and the Netherlands, Norway. I forget where else, but yeah, it actually just debuted at number 2 over there.
Oh, nice.
And now we're getting ready for a big thing coming up this month for Rolling Stones magazine, and possibly an appearance. It's in Central Park in New York at the Global Citizens Music Festival.
Damn.
So, yep, I'm actually, as these guys say, yes, I'm the lead singer and one of the songwriters for the Southern Outlaws Band, and we are a national recording artist and travel all over the country, and where our music's heard in 144 different countries.
They travel all over the country, but yet I still have not found them in Florida. No.
Not yet.
Florida, Uncle Mark.
We're working on it.
I know.
All right. We'll go.
Yeah.
2 tickets sold.
There we go.
All right, ladies, all 3 of y'all. Is it? I don't want to sound kind of fascist or anything. Is it a man's world military? From the time y'all entered to the time you've left, is it a man's world military, or is it very diverse now?
You
Before.
first. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying because depends on career field, right? Your MOS, your AFSC, that's my career field. Yes, I joined as a security forces member, a cop. So there was 2 females on my flight, and myself and another. Other than that, it was men, but she was medical.
I did medical supply my whole career, and I wouldn't say it was male dominated. I was successful because you had to know your job to become successful, and so you need to know, you learn the job so you can progress through the ranks and stay in. But I don't think it was male dominated. I have other comments and concerns, but it wasn't male dominated.
Gotcha. What about yours, Gillette?
Well, I mean, in my job field, when I was actually in the schoolhouse, in my actual platoon, which had over like maybe 50 people, and we had like 5 platoons like for our whole little battalion, but there were about 4, maybe 5 females in every platoon. If that, like mine, it was me and another woman. And then when I left, there was another one taking our places essentially. And so in my job field, there are a lot of men, but I do see a lot of female officers and also first sergeants and things like that. So there are women in leadership positions and like, the CO and stuff like that. But it's just a matter of it's mostly men, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's dominated by the men, like she said.
It's ran by women, but overrun with men in it. Is that?
Yeah.
Especially medical.
Depending on the field, but
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody wants to be a pretty boy. Nobody wants to do grunt work.
Nobody wants to do grunt work.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some grunt work real quick. Boots on the ground, and as far as men to women ratio, I'm going to assume that it was complete opposite, right? It was definitely male dominated, and probably one or two.
Unfortunately, I think we only had one. And she was actually smarter than all of us. So
if she was in the army, I can't attest to that. I'm just saying. I'm kidding.
She did a lot of the the computer aspect of it and everything. And I'll admit it, she was 10 times smarter than any of us. But yeah, it is a shame, that but hopefully things are changing a little bit. I know I have my cousin, he's actually still in. He's in the Army. He's a full bird colonel, and he's actually also like down there below in military intelligence. And he's mentioned to me several times, that they need to wind up changing that stereotype,
Sure.
and breaking that barrier and opening that up, because women can do the job just as good as a guy can, when it comes to what we do. And a lot of the logistics aspect of it, face it, they're smarter.
Amen.
It's the brains, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
Right.
I'll admit it.
What was your
That's why we have a woman manager. I mean, she's
see?
smarter than all of us.
I wanted to know what was your was the Air Force for you all, was that your first choice?
Yes.
Was it your only choice?
Yes.
And
That's all it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because we went to on MacDill, and all
Yep.
you saw were the security forces member or the security police, white ascots, looked sharp, and I was
Yeah.
like, yep. And then I wanted to be like Chips because I loved Chips.
And you went to Crystal River High School, right? And you guys were Air Force over there in ROTC?
No, Navy.
Navy. I'm
Navy.
surprised you didn't do Navy instead.
Well, I thought about it because at first, when I tried for the Air Force, my career field, security forces, it was just one. It was like security police. So if you went either a security specialist or law enforcement, you one or the other. Well, the law enforcement was full. So then I tried to go to the Navy to be an MA, but back then you couldn't. You had to be in the service and then train over for MA duty. So I was like, well, that sucks.
Pass, because you'd have been painting boats all day long. You'd have been.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Yeah. I wouldn't mind being an MA in the Navy. However, or bosun's mate at times. But no, so I just waited. I moved up to Georgia and waited for security forces to open up.
Okay. Jillian, I know that we had a whole conversation in my house, and you
Yes.
said your mama brought you over, and you were looking at possibly doing Navy, correct?
Yes, honestly, for me, I looked into the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines. And originally, the Marines was not my first choice, simply because I knew it was going to be hard. And I'm not really good under pressure, or at least so I thought. I'm not the type of person that like can handle people yelling at me typically and stuff like that. So I was like, Marines aren't for me. But for me, it was more, I didn't solely base my opinion on like the branches themselves. I also based it on the recruiters, in all honesty, because I felt like if they're willing to do a lot for me just to try to get me to sign, then that shows a dedication either to their quota, whatever, or in general. I felt like that was a good representation of the branch itself in a way, and it kind of was for me because like the Marines recruiter, I mean, I lived down the street, but he said, he lived like 30 minutes away, and he said he'd be willing to bend to my schedule, my mom's schedule, so he could sit down and talk to her. But when I tried getting the Navy recruiter to do the same, she was like, no, you're gonna have to go. She's like, you're gonna have to go to our office, and their office wasn't even like local or anything
It was
because
Brooksville,
I
wasn't
went
it?
to the same. I went to the same high school. I went to the same high school as the lovely ladies. I went to Crystal River, and I was still about 20 minutes away from that. My mom was working all the time. I didn't want to force her to do anything after a long day of work or on her days off. But the Marines recruiter was willing to sit there and do whatever he could. And also, he had great music taste. Okay, call me a Marine for making that one of my decisions, but his music was amazing.
You make it so easy to say, here's your crayons and your coloring paper.
Here,
That was
have a seat at the desk. Have a seat at the desk and start coloring. This is what we do all the time.
it's the music selection. You had good music taste. All right, here you go.
Arliss, was the Army your first choice, or was
Yeah,
it?
actually, my dad was Army. He was in the Korean War. He was a staff sergeant and tank commander for the 1st Armored Division. He was stationed out of Fort Knox, Kentucky, before he went to Korea.
That's closed.
Did you pick your job, Arliss, or was it you joined and then you kind of?
I actually joined. I went. My wife was pregnant. I wound up getting out. Plus, I was still pursuing a music career at the same time. Got out and wound up in law enforcement. I got my degrees and everything in criminal justice and wound up becoming a deputy sheriff, and that's pretty much how I wound up, getting out. But
You retired as a sheriff, didn't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I retired as a SWAT commander.
Oh,
Okay.
snap.
What do you like better, being a SWAT commander or being a musician?
Oh, musician by far.
Less stress?
Oh, a lot less stress.
Listen, I don't have to shoot anybody today. We're good. Everything is working
Yeah.
the best. All right. Actually, Air Force was my first choice because I heard so much about the Air Force.
Yeah.
And everybody kept saying, dude, it's cakewalk. You got to join the Air Force. I is not smart to join the Air Force. I is smart enough for Navy or Army. And I was like, nah, I don't want to join the Army. F that.
Eat an orange crayon and you grab a red.
So yeah, I actually the Air Force was my first choice. My aunt and uncle both served in the Air Force and both retired as some kind of upper sergeants or something. I don't remember. E8, E9. I don't remember.
Ooh, okay.
Whatever those are. Anyway, whatever it is in the Air Force, I don't know what it is in the Air Force. I know like in the Navy it would have been a master chief or a command master chief.
So yeah,
So-
chief craft sergeant or chief.
Yeah.
E8, E9.
Okay. So my uncle though, who was in the Army, kept telling me, and I didn't listen. I should have. He was like, you need to join a program to become an officer. Just go through the ROTC program and join to become an officer. Even if you sign up now, join to become an officer. And I didn't listen. So my bad. My bad. Listen, I had to be enlisted to make things happen the way that they did, and I think everything happens for a reason. So there you go. All right, let's talk about real quick. Let's talk about who's got the better uniform. I'm gonna go first on this one. I'm gonna go
Sure,
first.
the Navy.
Are we
It is-
talking about like current uniforms? Or
Dress uniforms. Best dress.
Okay.
Marine.
Best dress uniforms. Current. I gotta say, I'm giving it to the Marine Corps.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
That's
all-
That's very painful to say, but yeah, I will have to agree.
Because not even with the dress blues, there's also the formals in general, and those are. I don't think I'm gonna shell out the money to ever buy them, but they're beautiful. Personally, I love them, male and female, and
Yeah.
I'm strongly against the female uniforms because they're very bland, but formal
It's
uniforms
atrocious, right?
beautiful.
Mm.
It's like some old timey.
It's just the male uniform
1800
without
style.
pockets and untucked. So like,
The
Yeah.
the second best uniform I'm going to give to the Army, and their dress blues. They have since went away from the dress. It was like the green, the Army green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They since went away from that, and they went to a dark navy blue style uniform, and it looks absolutely amazing. I don't know if the older guys from the Army, Arliss, if you guys appreciate the newer look on the.
I think it looks a lot better because a lot of us didn't like that. I'm not a fan of green to begin with. So, yeah, the dress uniform kind of sucked, in my opinion.
So you get the dark green, and then you get this it's like the baby green shirt, the undershirt, and I was like,
Yep.
like they couldn't find enough green for this, or what?
Yeah. Everything is green. I mean,
Army proof.
yeah. But so it's nice that they've actually, kind of changed with the times a little bit.
Ann and Rachel, about your guys' dress uniform, what did you not like? Why would the Marine Corps have the better uniform, better looking, I should say, over your uniform and my uniform?
So for me, what I would tell my trainees in BMT is if because they all love their blues. Like, you look like a used car salesman. Horrible. they're horrible. I hate them. It's god awful. So if I didn't have to put my trainees or my flight in blues, we didn't wear blues because I don't want. But they all wanted to look like Al Bundy. You got right. That's all they wanted to do. Ours is horrible. Air Force is the worst by far.
I just think it looks sharp. It just looks better. Like it's straight blue, but I don't know. It just
It's because it's basic.
maybe color contrast. Maybe like it just looks sharp. Like, and you can tell. Like, if you were to see Air Force versus Marines, you could absolutely tell that they are in the service, whereas Air Force looks like they're wearing just a blue suit. You know, there's some name tags and some ribbons and things, but
Men in
it's
black,
just
but in blue.
It's just a blue suit.
Men in blue.
Well,
Our dress uniform in the wintertime was the Cracker Jack uniform. Of course, you guys
Yeah.
can see that on any Cracker Jack box. That was only worn during the winter season. And then the dress whites were absolutely horrendous because it didn't matter. If a love bug landed on you, you were done.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Can I ask you a quick question?
drank Kool-Aid, game over.
Quick
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
Navy, what's the Fleet Week stuff? Can you explain some of that, or you were
So
talking
what
about
it-
your
what is-
Cracker
what
Jack
is-
uniform? So when you see them on TV for Fleet Week, that's what they're wearing, and they're trying to replay all the man kissing the woman.
Yeah, so it's very so Fleet Week happens in a bunch of different places. Like I've been to Fleet Week in New York. I've been to Fleet Week in Boston. So it's different everywhere you go, right? The dress uniform is going to be for whatever season it is. If somebody's showing up in a dress blues and it's the middle of the summer, they're just doing that to go out and show off that uniform. That's all they're doing. And try to recreate what you were saying is try to recreate some of those blizzard moments that you get on film.
During Fleet Week, the Navy has the best uniforms because that's all you hear about.
The only uniform that I really liked that I never got to wear, it was called the Johnny Cash's, and it was a black shirt, black pants, black tie, the black not the beret. I can't say that word anymore. The V cap. What's that called? Like what the Air Force wears.
Shoot, what do we call it? I don't even know. I dumped that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, data dump, right? You got to do a data dump.
Like-
Arliss,
like a
what's the V cap called? And we can't say that word anymore.
I have no idea what the new terminology is. I know what we called it, but yeah, we can't say that anymore.
Not allowed to say that anymore.
No.
A bitch cat?
Maybe
No,
it's-
but it's close. It was close. That was close to the other word.
well,
We just can't
Brian,
say it anymore.
while they're looking that up, one of the things
yeah,
that
a flight cap, just a flight cap. He said it was a black one with his black uniform.
Like with the V, like you put it on, Ann already knows what it is. So, yeah, see, Amanda found it. She's going to tell us what it is. It's called the See You Next Tuesday cap.
But I couldn't say
Anyway.
that. I didn't want to say that word.
No, you did. Hey, listen.
I mean, we don't say it. You can say whatever you want.
Well,
That's why
I was trying to be nice and just say the bitch cat, but
It's all good. Let's take a quick break.
No, hold on. Before we do that, I was trying to say something, but you kept talking. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
yeah.
I'll just keep going.
We do this all the time. Any which way, something that we're trying to get help with, and hopefully we'll be able to do it. But I want to show these guys what our shirts we're hoping to have made eventually, as soon as we find somebody that can help us.
We
of
got to
what they-
revamp the artwork just a little bit.
no, it's not that. We got to have a vector file,
Okay.
and as soon as we can get that, we can get the shirts made. And the person that's supposed
So
to
you
help
guys
us,
give us your opinion on the shirts, and you let us know what you think.
this
so-
is the front of it.
Ooh, yep.
Ew. I don't know why it's like that, but yeah, I know
Yeah.
why.
That's cool.
Mhm.
I like it.
And this is the back.
Oh,
Ooh,
yes.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do that for a tribute for all the men and women of the military. So we're hoping to get that shirt done here soon and make that readily available for.
Yeah,
the
we just got to find somebody that has that can help us make the vector file so we can get it in, because that's the only thing stopping us. Because I made part of it with AI, and I made the rest of it with, between me and Brian, we moved stuff around. And hopefully we wanted to try to get it all done before this show, so we could start selling them and, doing it that way.
Yeah.
But we're hoping we get enough people that want to buy them. That way we don't.
Yeah, so
do
we
what
can start. Yeah, because so Mark and I, we don't make any money off of the show, guys. So the deal is anything that we get made, any of the decals, any of the T-shirts and stuff, all we're trying to do is recoup our money that we've invested. We're not trying to get anything extra. It's simply to put our product out there and have support for the military as well at the same time. So
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool. So because I think our last shirts that we did were like $15 a piece plus whatever it was to ship them to you.
Yeah. And
So
we
what
gave
were
most of them away.
What would your thoughts be on doing it for military side? Stickers and or maybe challenge coins?
Dude, a challenge coin would be fantastic. I don't know what that would cost to get made.
Yeah,
but
that's right. So if you had some,
Yeah.
That would be
Do we
interesting.
know anybody in Korea?
Actually, I know people in China that.
hey, there you go.
Yeah, but it'll cost us an arm and a leg to just get it shipped here.
$8,000 to
Yeah.
get $20.
Yeah.
1 yen. 1 yen. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so
when you
let's
say
Yeah.
your vector or your program. What are you talking about?
It's a vector file. Basically, it takes the AI program that we used and it changes it over to a different format.
It just cleans it up, because when you go to put this on something, you can't make it large because it pixelates and stuff. So we can't do that.
You almost have to have it down to a JPEG.
Yeah, but basically, in some ways, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're trying. We have the guy that did our original artwork for so the background, the logo that we have, he made that, and it's a vector file, and we can use that on anything. That's our logo. We can use it anywhere we want to.
Mm-hmm.
Just finding someone, if not him, because he's busy all the time now, to take the file and swap it over to a vector, and that's it. I think once we can get it turned into a vector file, we'll be okay.
Yeah, well, if we had the program, it would be better.
I'll get the shirts made immediately as soon as I can get that. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to listen to a song, and we're going to listen to a song from a band called Until I Wake, and the name of the song is called Renovate. Here before too long, we will have, hopefully, Mark getting off his butt and getting the band Until I Wake on the show.
I'm trying.
We've had some absolute amazing bands. Arliss and the guys from Southern Outlaws have been absolutely fantastic and humble. So please make sure you guys are following him as well. Check out his music. Check out their music. They're absolutely baller. So let's take a quick break. Listen to the song. When we come back, we are going to play
A game.
Florida or Not Florida.
Not Florida.
Oh man. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is your chance to go use the bathroom, replenish your brouhahas, and we'll see you in a minute.
Let me in.
was meant for me to break me down, uncovering the person I could never see. 'Cause underneath, I know that I believe it all. Give everything I have. I believe it all. To recreate myself, rebuilding this new shape from the mistakes I made. Learn what it means to renovate. Show me what it means to feel alive. I know the chances that it won't be perfect. I feel the world waiting for me to shine. My heart is aching for a life that's worth it. Show me what it means to feel alive. I know the chances that it won't be perfect. I know the world waiting for me to shine. My heart is aching for a life that's worth it.
And we're back.
Damn stream ended on Instagram for some reason. They said there was a problem.
Probably because you're playing all this kick-ass music and they don't like it.
I don't care. Nobody was watching on that one anyways. They're all watching on Facebook or YouTube anyways.
Sounds good to me. All right, y'all. Duty stations. Best duty station you've had, and Jillian only had a couple so far. How do you like Hawaii? We all want to know.
I haven't gone out a lot simply because originally it was because I didn't have a car. And then when I got a car, I just didn't have any friends to go out with.
She doesn't know how to drive anyways.
I do too. I'm getting better.
Ask her husband. He'll tell you different.
I drive him everywhere, actually, Uncle Mark.
What do you like about Hawaii?
The weather, because I don't get cold when I
Ever?
go outside. I mean, it gets chilly. When I got here, it was a little chilly, and it kind of switches back and forth. Not chilly when I got here, but like towards trying to remember months, December and all of that, it was getting kind of chilly. And but it doesn't drop below like 70, I'm pretty sure. Maybe even higher than that. And so I like it. It reminds me a lot of Florida though, because the weather is very bipolar. But every time I say that to someone here, they get very offended. And they're like, "Oh, it's nothing like Florida." I'm like, "There's no clouds and it's raining. What do you mean it's not like Florida?"
Or it's
Yeah.
raining over here on this side of the road, but not here yet. It's coming.
I literally, one time I drove in on base, I was at the gate, and it's just pouring rain at the guard station, and then I drive past it, not even 2 seconds later, there's no rain. It was just raining on like the guard station.
Okay, that's no different than Florida.
Is the hotel still in Hawaii where you can go and swim with the dolphins?
She wouldn't know. She's on a small little island, so.
Which island are you on?
Oahu, right?
I've told my grandpa before, so
You don't remember the island you're on?
no, because
Are
I
you
just
in
live
Pearl
in
Harbor
Hawaii.
Are you at Pearl Harbor?
Yeah.
Oahu.
I'm on Oahu. That's what I thought. I thought I was on Oahu, but I didn't want to be wrong, you know?
Have you talked to any of the locals in Hawaii?
No, not really, because I stay on base or I go to Target to buy
Jill,
things for my new house.
So go
be
talk.
adventurous.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something about Hawaii. Everyone in Hawaii is your auntie. Any female in Hawaii that's older than you is your auntie. They are going to invite you to the luau. You should go to the luau. There is a luau every single day of the week. I promise you, in Hawaii.
Also, on the North Shore, there's a food truck that has garlic shrimp. Amazing. I was only ever on vacation in Hawaii. I would come back for that garlic shrimp.
Hey, Jill. Jill, this is one's
Yeah?
for you. Read the screen.
She
I
is.
am.
Say hi to
Mom.
say hi to your mom.
Hi, Mom. I was just texting her, actually.
She's like, I'm on the show. Mark won't let me off here for some reason.
I had to blackmail
No,
her. So.
this man.
Arliss,
I was like-
have you been to Hawaii, Arliss?
No, I have not been to Hawaii.
How about Guam? Anywhere
No.
overseas other than no?
No, just South America. That's about it. Well, Mexico, of course, but
Everybody's been to Mexico? No. Jill has not been to Mexico.
Me.
I've
Ann has
only
not been to
like,
Mexico.
States.
You've been all over the world, Ann, but you've never been to Mexico.
No, I can't understand them people. So
well, it was a different time when I was down there. I mean, we're talking, the late
Yeah,
80s and early
Castro.
90s.
yeah.
Mexico, not Cuba.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Cuban
She's
refugee.
like
Yeah.
the same thing, though, right? No. All right, as promised, we are going to play a little game here. It's called Florida or Not Florida. Everyone that's in the comments, you're
And
more
I don't have
than
to play it.
welcome. Everyone in the comments, you are more than welcome to play along. But we are having Ann and Rachel versus Arliss versus Jillian, and Mark
No,
doesn't have to play.
I don't have to play this time. And it's
Ooh.
Ann versus Rachel versus Jill versus Arliss. They don't get to play together.
Oh, they don't get to play together. Okay, cool.
No.
Oh.
It's every
And-
man
and-
comment for themselves.
Okay, and most of the time we don't have prizes or anything else. But like I said before, if you want a decal, I'd call them stickers. But Brian has a fit over that. If you want a sticker, I'll send them to you. All you got to do is send me your address.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And I already told Rachel to have you send me your address. Jillian, you have a shirt of ours that you never wear.
Oh, burn.
But I'll send you a sticker if you want one. A
Yeah.
decal, I'm sorry. Arliss, I don't know if you have those ones or not.
Yes, I do.
You have the decals? Excellent.
Matter of fact, every member of the band's got them.
Dude, that's fantastic. Awesome.
Matter of fact, I think the bass player put his on his bass case.
Dude, that's awesome. It beats what Brian does with the decals.
Listen, I went to Busch Gardens. I stuck them around Busch Gardens. What do you want from me?
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
He
Get
sits
up, where
around.
you, get up where you can. That's all I can say.
There you
Right?
go.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The very first headline in the news reads, "Man had hours-long junk food feast in a closed Walgreens, police say. A man was arrested after he indulged in sweets and other various items inside a closed Walgreens for several hours. Man said, I came in to use the bathroom. After being in the restroom for nearly 5 hours, police said the man began roaming around the store, treating himself to various items such as Tostitos, spinach dip, chips, Reese's chocolate, Ghirardelli, Dr. Pepper, and Newport cigarettes." Did that happen in Florida
Yes.
or not Florida?
Man, it's the Newports telling me it's not.
I'm going to say not Florida.
No,
All right, Mark,
Florida.
write this down. Let's score everybody here. Who's saying Florida? Raise your hand. Ann and Rachel both say Florida. Arliss says not Florida. Jill, what did you say?
Not Florida.
Florida. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the comments section, Amanda played with us last week, and she actually won. Amanda says not Florida. And what about Miss Stephanie? I know she's on here still. I know she's watching you, Jillian. She's, I mean, stalking.
She probably just finished with work, or she's just finishing with work.
All right, so we probably won't get her answer then. And the answer is Florida. It happened in Florida.
The Villages. Hello.
How about anywhere?
Was it in the Villages? It doesn't tell me.
When you talk about the Newports and some of the older things, I
Yeah.
just go to the Villages, Fort Lauderdale, Fort Myers. That's where they all go.
Okay. All right. My wife says West Palm.
Oh, amen. Yep.
That could have been in Citrus County too. So
You're right. Beverly Hills, right? The Beverly Hills.
Oh yeah, Beverly Hills. There you go.
There you go.
All right. Here's our next one, y'all. Let's see. Can't say that word. Man says his 7-year-old daughter on the way to school found a suspected robber asleep in the back seat of the family minivan. Did this happen in Florida or not Florida? So the headline is, girl finds robbery suspect asleep in the family minivan.
Yeah.
This is an older story, but
No.
I got a no from,
No.
got a no, a no. Ann and Rachel are both no's?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, and then Arliss is no. Jillian is
Yes.
a yes. Oh, look, Stephanie was on. She is playing.
yeah, I see that.
Amanda says not. Stephanie, what do you say? It's Florida or not Florida? What do you say? Not Florida. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is not Florida. It actually happened in Massachusetts.
It's too hot to be in the back of a car in Florida. You can't just be hanging out there.
Fair enough.
That, and then in Florida, they probably would have shot your hind end if you weren't that.
Oh yeah, if I caught you in my car, I'm shooting you.
Same here too, but that's where I went.
All right.
You're not gonna wait to call the cops.
All right, here we go. A couple is way too turned on to notice a robbery in progress. Being a part of an armed robbery seems like it would be terrifying, but for one couple in blank, it was no big deal when the armed men stormed into the tap room. Did that happen in Florida
Yes.
or not Florida?
I'm going to say Florida.
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 All right, what do you got, Amanda and Stephanie? Florida or not Florida? Couples making out with each other. They don't have time to pay no mind to the robbery going on over here.
Well, you can't answer not for everything.
Well, she's saying not Florida. And Amanda says Florida. The answer to the question is not Florida, Montana.
Oh,
Montana. Yep.
What?
Well,
That's weird.
I could see that too.
All
I think
right.
I'm just gonna get everything wrong.
That's okay. Listen, you can't do any worse than the other person that got every question wrong.
That wasn't me. That was you.
All right, here we
I
go.
mean, I feel like nothing's expected of me.
We
I
expect,
expect more.
we expect
I
a
expect more out
less,
of you.
a less from you, but get the best from you. So we're good. We're good. Just play the game. You're having fun, aren't you? Man takes on a bizarre challenge of eating raw chicken every day. A man has been chowing down on raw chicken daily in a bizarre challenge to find out if eating raw meat isn't as horrifying as it seems.
That's Tony and Angie.
Is this a Florida man or
Florida.
not Florida man?
Not Florida. I see a lot of videos like that. I've seen a video of someone eating fermented meat.
Well, this is a challenge now that he's been doing. He's been eating chicken, raw chicken, Let's think about this. Raw chicken.
Gronk didn't tell him no.
Ann and
It's
Rachel.
not Florida.
We're gonna say yes. Ann says yes, right?
Yes.
She's also-
Ann wants to say yes. You want to say yes.
Correct.
Stephanie's saying no. Turned on by buffaloes. I like that.
I'm gonna say no. I think that's a Kentucky thing.
Well, like Kentucky Fried
Ooh, that's
Chicken. Here we
good.
go. Kentucky raw chicken, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not right.
Mark, you got everybody's answer in?
Except for Amanda.
I say Florida, but I got to see the raw diet all over too. So we got everybody.
Yes.
And John from Florida, who has chosen not to share his last name for privacy reasons, filmed himself eating slabs of raw chicken
Yeah.
and then chugging raw eggs for his 400,000 Instagram followers for the few months that he was doing it. Yeah, no.
Clearly he died.
But Rocky,
Well, no, it doesn't say he died.
I mean, he dipped off after a few months, man.
Eggs.
All right, last one.
Okay, last one. Man arrested after making a bomb threat against himself. Was this Florida or
Florida.
not Florida?
Dude, that sounds like a Florida thing all over.
sounds like home assassin.
I feel like it's Florida or Ohio.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
He's like, how'd you know that was me?
Yeah. I didn't think that made the news.
Here, let me read this to you. It says,
Yes,
"Ant
please.
says he made a mistake when he called in threats against himself in an attempt to get revenge on someone. The 20-year-old told police he received the following emails. There's a bomb on your grandpa's property. I'm going to break into your house and shoot you in the blank head. I'm going to kill you. Watch me." When he followed up with the police to ask why they hadn't arrested the person accused of sending the threats, they arrested him for allegedly filing a false police report instead.
I'm going to say not
It's
Florida.
So we're not Florida up top. Jillian. Go
If
against
it's
the
not
grain,
Florida,
Jillian.
Ohio, but Florida.
Okay.
Oh, what-
And Stephanie,
and Rachel, what did you pick?
not Florida.
Not.
And Stephanie says Florida, and Ann says not
No.
Florida.
Yeah.
It happened in Florida.
What?
Jill,
Wow.
All right, guys.
you called it. It wasn't Ohio.
I'm surprised Floridians are that smart to check email.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, what the hell were you thinking? Like, hey, somebody called it. I got this threat. Look at this. Where did it originate from? Oh, your cell phone? Yeah, that sounds about like, yeah, good one, buddy.
How did he not recognize the own threats he was typing out?
Some people ain't smart. They join the Navy.
Maybe he just sent them when he got high, and then when he came down, he was like, "What the hell happened here?"
Maybe that kid's got multiple personalities. But if that was the case, I would say he's from Ohio. No, nothing.
You know, I used to really like you, you know. I like Mark better now.
Oh. All right. Let's see. What else
That's
did we
his
want?
other alter talking.
It's another what?
I said that's his other alter talking.
What is your favorite thing? What is your favorite activity outside of the military? When you were in the military, what was your favorite pastime activity? So being on deployment, playing poker, spades, anything like that? Who wants to start?
I'll say getting drunk at Billy Bob's.
Ooh.
Are you sure you're not are you sure you weren't in the Navy?
Right?
Arliss signed up for the branch. He's like, wait a minute, yeah. Getting drunk at Billy Bob. That was your favorite pastime, getting drunk?
Oh hell yeah!
I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with it.
And it still is. That's why we have all liquor sponsors, you know.
Anna Rachel, favorite pastime?
I like to cook, but I cooked all the time too when I was active duty, so not much has changed. But
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you were in the military, what was your favorite pastime thing to do?
Yeah,
Like
Were you
running.
doing a lot of cooking then too?
Yeah,
Okay.
but cooking and what?
running, cooking, and running, and
Same.
drinking wine, but that's consistent.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. I just have more time to do it.
Yeah.
All right, Ann, you're up.
Ooh, I know your answer. Well, I know now your answer.
Well, and then it kind of depended on where I was stationed, because in Oklahoma, outside doing things would be your favorite. Barbecuing, learning how to, yeah, learn how to start cooking for myself and smoking meats. But then when I went to North Dakota, in the missile field in Minot, it was learning how to stay warm to go ice fishing, but all you did was sit and drink beer and drop some lines in frozen water.
And catch frozen fit. Oh my God, Brian, spit it out.
Frozen fish? Yeah.
Yeah, fish sticks.
Yeah. Whatever can outside.
Now she likes to garden.
Or now it's just my
Now
garden.
it's gardening
She's a
all day. If she,
gardener,
yeah, if she goes outside, she will end up in her garden.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do this, and she'll end up in the garden.
Yeah.
My wife says I'll be right back and goes to the garden, and I don't see her for like an hour and a half. I'm like,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
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 Jillian.
Right now it depends, but because I do like baking, I actually baked banana bread the other day, and I do like to crochet while watching like American Dad or something. I stopped watching Family Guy because it got too political. I was like, this is supposed to be funny. What happened? But so now I'm watching American Dad until it gets too political. But I also spend most like throughout the day because I spend most of my time at home. I just like go upstairs to mess with my cats because I had someone foster 2 cats for a few months until I was able to, once I moved out of the barracks and was able to get them because they were little stray kitties. Their mom got pregnant. I watched them from little babies. That's my favorite pastime.
I'll send
Favorite
you
hobby
two
is
more.
bothering my cats.
I'll send you 2 more cats. Unana has them.
No, Jake won't even let me have another kitten because another cat near my friend's house had kittens. They're like 8 weeks old at max.
I'll send you one of my 7.
Listen, hold on.
No,
Jill, don't do it because you're gonna end up the crazy cat lady. Don't do it.
I already knew that was gonna happen growing up in my nana's house. I loved all the cats. I brought home
It's
several
fine.
cats.
You know what? You love cats. You know what you do? Go find a PetSmart and go roll around in the little cat
Just go
room
find a cat cafe.
and then go home. And then go home, and you're good. It didn't cost you a thing.
Just go find a cat cafe somewhere. Same difference.
My husband's also allergic to cats, so he won't let me bring any more.
Yes, my daughter has.
16. Damn. I thought I had a lot at one time.
My daughter's allergic to
No.
cats. She has 2, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
I forced him to. I got him when he was half asleep last night. I said, "Hey, love, do you wanna take some of the allergy medicine I have?" And he mumbled something along the lines of, "Yeah, sure." And I actually gave it to him. He's always like, "How am I gonna get stronger if I take it?" I was like, "You can't breathe. Just take it."
Yeah, you have to take it. Yeah.
It's okay because he's just as stubborn as me.
So I being deployed all the time, biggest pastime was playing spades or pranks on one another. Everybody played spades, so you had to learn. I became actually pretty good at it, but the best was pranking people, doing pranks on the ship. It's kind of, there's things that you can and cannot do on a ship that will get you beat up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I did a lot of those, and
You got beat up a lot, huh?
I got beat up once, but It is what it is. So that was
Do.
Well, you should have kept your balls off his forehead.
So when we were deployed, I covered Anne's entire, well, her office, her cubicle, in foil. Well, she had a meat tray or like a knife or a cheese tray, like with a cheese knife. So I didn't cover the blade, but everything else, like her radio, the CPU, her entire desk, covered in foil.
Yeah, we did the wrapping paper one.
Okay.
The whole desk was covered in wrapping paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stapler, this, that, it was all wrapping paper.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it. Oh.
Since when did you learn how to wrap paper or how to wrap?
No, I don't.
Spit some bars right now. No.
Yeah.
What else you want to talk about? After getting out, what is any recommendations you guys can give to the younger generation? Because we don't know what Jillian's plan is yet. So I know that Rachel got to retire from the military, so you guys make good money.
They didn't say that.
My husband's just gonna get a good job.
Okay.
Well, so when I got out, so when I was in, let me back up. I was able to transfer my post 9/11 GI Bill benefits to my son. And so my son was able to go to college debt free, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're planning on staying in for any amount of time, of course, the military gets you because it's a service commitment. Like if you want to transfer your post 9/11 to whatever dependents you have, that's a service commitment. I would say take advantage of it because my son he graduated last summer, and he's working full time. And he's debt free, which is lovely. And then I retired and went to Florida State University for hospitality, debt free, which again, lovely. Like take advantage of the GI Bill. I would say don't rush out and just go get another job. And that's just for me. Like I don't think I wanted to work. Like I wanted to sleep in. I didn't want to wake up at 5:30 every morning. I didn't want to, my commute was an hour each way for the last 7 years of my career. So I didn't want to drive. I didn't want to go anywhere. That's like, do what you want for a little bit. Like if you can, if you're financially able to do that, but go to school and take advantage of every opportunity. Cause that's what I did. I was an adult learner. I was the minority in school because I read the books. I went to class. I paid attention. But I enjoyed every single moment of it. So find out what you want to do because my job was chosen for me, and to be successful, I had to be good at it. But I love hospitality, like the wine, the parties, the hosting, that's my jam. And I didn't learn it in the military, but it's like, hey, we're having a potluck for Thanksgiving. Hey, it's a potluck for your birthday. Hey, it's a potluck for promotion. Hey, it's potluck.
I'm sure.
And that's me. Yeah,
Do you have that with you guys, Jillian? The potluck stuff and that
really.
camaraderie.
I mean, we did have a potluck for Thanksgiving, but I didn't get to go to it because I was TAD at the time, so I like where I am now, so I wasn't able to because it was set on their schedule and I had to go to work.
Yeah.
But they've done some things, but like it really just depends on like each company itself as well. Because like my company, you're in a windowless room all day. At least all of the lower enlisted are friends with each other or constantly at each other's throats, but get along at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like a
Mission
lot of
first,
our people, to make things interesting, my old roommate used to rage bait one of the guys just to make time go by because he would just go on and on and on. But by the end of the day, they're cool. They're chill.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's military stuff, though. That's military camaraderie. It's weird how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Arliss.
Oh, so go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I told somebody we were in Korea and we had just gotten there about the same time. So we were going to be there together for a year. And I was like, you're going to drive me nuts. Like thinking nothing of it. Like you're just going to like get on my nerves. He took such offense to that. And I'm like, that's wild. I mean, we were great friends while we were there. You know, we didn't quite keep in touch, but like said hi when we saw each other. But that's how it is. That's just how it is. You're at each other's throats, and then you're still cool at the end of the day.
Being cooped up with one another kind of doesn't really help that situation.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Arliss, how long did you serve, and then what would your recommendations be for the younger crowd?
4 years. My recommendation is, pretty much building off of what these ladies already said, is definitely enjoy the camaraderie and the people that's around you. Because, at the end of the day, they'll wind up being lifelong friends.
Mm-hmm.
When you get out, take a breath and think about what you really enjoy to do, what you're passionate about. Because if you wind up finding a job that fits your passion and what you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you were a deputy sheriff after you got out. Was that a passion? Was that something that you felt like, hey, I really, really want to do this?
Yeah. Well, when I got out, I mean, there was a little bit of a break in between. It was when I was in Nashville. I was at the Grand Ole Opry, and I was actually offered at that time a 4-year contract, which back in the the early 90s, when you got a deal like that, their first thing they do is they'll send you overseas for 4 years. I had a 2-year-old daughter at the time, and that's when I made the decision to step away from music. And that's when I got, into law enforcement. And so that way I could still do a little bit of my passion on the side, but I could still be at home and be a dad. And that's pretty much what drove that decision of me being a deputy sheriff. And then, I just wound up, with what I was classified, what I was trained to do, and then plus a lot of my extra schooling that I did when I was a deputy. I wound up, but that's how I became a SWAT commander. Got to wind up training a lot of the FBI. Matter of fact, my mentor, he actually wrote the STOPS program, which is used today by all law enforcement across the United States and the FBI. And we taught that. So, I had a good career. But again, I am much happier doing what I'm doing. It's a whole nother thing. I mean, it's something that I've always passionate about, but I have the time and the experience with everything that I've done to be able to write music and then take that music and, make it, become what it is and put it out there for the world to hear. It's actually a pretty cool thing to do. So,
yep. I was going to ask if you got any of those chops when you were in the military.
Oh yeah.
Like, did you guys sit around? Because a lot of my earlier time in the military, being deployed, one of the guys came on and he had not just an acoustic guitar, but he had an acoustic. He had the electric acoustic, right? The one that you plug into a little amp.
Yeah.
And this man could jam out and literally would write songs off the cuff. Just about the craziest shit, like somebody's walking through the passageway and there they go over that way. And I'm like, dude, that's the funny. Like, it was good. Like his voice was great, but like just off the cuff, like how he
like Homeboy from the Jungle Book, Blue, or what's his name?
The bear?
Yep. Got those bare necessities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when you said that. Yeah, there you go.
But
So
yeah, we used to jam around the campfire. Actually, we had a couple guys and stuff that actually played music, in my unit. So yeah, we'd sit around and jam and sing songs around the fire, especially when we had some downtime. And like I said, it's just I grew up in the music business, so it's something that has always been in my blood. My grandfather played professional bluegrass, and that's how basically I got into it. So it's something that just like I said, I mean, of course, this is, I don't recommend this for a job for everybody, but it is a very hard profession. But with the love of our fans, supporters like you guys here, with the podcast, we became a very good, comfortable living, and we're enjoying every minute of it.
Fantastic. And I think that's what we want to see for the future. Like people like Jillian, at the end of the day, you join the military for a reason. And if you ever lose your passion for the military, you just have to have a come to Jesus with yourself. And you just got to say, hey, listen, what do I need to do next? Don't jump on the first gimmick that pops up, right? You want to make sure that it's what you want. So here's a quick rendition. I did law enforcement for 1 year. It is not for me. Not for me. It literally is very stressful. It's high stress, and it's even more so now. Now that body cameras are out, and not just body cameras, but cell phone. People with cell phones are in your face constantly. You don't have to. You know what I mean? So you don't have to be in the wrong place at the right time or the right place at the wrong time. And somebody's still going to be like, oh, let me start recording this guy.
Somebody's going to judge it and tell you which one you're in.
Yeah, well, that hasn't changed anything. Now that I'm, a professional musician, you still got the cameras out, waiting for you to do something stupid.
Don't do anything stupid.
Hey, who you talking to here? Yeah, we've invented a new sport when we go on, to different locations. We do luggage cart surfing down the hallways. That's kind of fun. So. And the fun thing is when you wind up getting other people that are staying at the hotel to do it with you.
Nice.
Everybody's getting kicked out all at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the fun thing was I got the CEO of Hoosier Tires when we were in Nashville, Tennessee. They were there doing the IndyCar races, and he was there, because of the tire. That's their big tire and what they promote. And I accidentally, he said, well, I said, you want to have a few drinks with us and stuff? He says, yeah, sure. But I got to get up early in the morning. I got to fly back to Indianapolis. Needless to say, he missed his flight.
Oh,
Jill, do you enjoy what you do?
I feel a little bit mixed with it because yes, I do enjoy it. But I was also in the schoolhouse for 6 months or more. And what I do is intelligence, and it is in the 2600 field that I'm in, but it is not my specific job. So, I do love what I do because when I do get to do it, when the bird's up and running and stuff like that, I love it. It's fun because I get to look up all this information, find new things, identify things. It's really cool. But it's just I'm this isn't what I was trained for. I had to get trained for something new, but at the same time, and I kept hearing this in the schoolhouse and didn't believe it, but I was always told that no matter because I'm a 2621, but then there's a 31, a 41, and a 51, and I was told first and foremost, you're 2600. You're gonna do what they tell you to do. And so I'm doing a 31's job, which is actually a little bit more fun than my job. I understand it a little bit more.
Okay.
And your whole job thing with that is you have to make it fun.
Right.
You have to find a way.
Brian.
Yeah.
Don't listen to her. She doesn't do shit. She calls me
I said
half
when
the time.
I do get to work.
She calls
and when
me.
I first got.
She calls me about 3 times a week.
That's good.
She tells me, hey, look, just the bullshit. That's it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm not used to it. When she did live here, hold on, Joe. When she did live here, I barely seen or heard from her.
It's because she was trying to find out who Jillian is.
Mm.
Now she knows who Jillian is.
She was too busy.
Jillian wants to go and work. She don't want to sit at home.
She was too busy
So-
with her boyfriend. I think that's why she didn't come by.
So I think what happened is if the husband ever gets to a point where Jillian's like, I think I'm going to get out of the military and, go do this, he's going to be like, yeah, no, stay home. And she's going to be like, no, pass.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
nope.
Mm.
They already have a
What?
plan.
You
Yeah,
have a plan.
I don't plan on having a job when I get out. I
Okay.
definitely, even if I do another, do another contract, or if he does another contract, however long it takes, once we have kids, I'm no longer gonna want to go out and work, because for me personally, I rather spend my time with my kids and make sure I can homeschool them, get them advanced for their age, so that when I do put them in school, they can be in advanced classes and things like that, to just set them up for success. And that's just my opinion. That's how I feel. I know not everyone feels the same way. My mom doesn't like my choice, but it's mine.
It's your choice. Hey,
Absolutely.
listen. Hey, I'll tell you, you can do whatever you want for your kids, but your kids are going to end up being whatever they're going to want to be too.
Right, and I get that. It's just, I feel like if I'm able to give all of my time to them and like other hobbies and stuff like that, because I've told him once he gets home, relaxes for a little bit, the kids are his. Like eventually we're gonna work out a system. We're gonna work out a system, but I know I'm going to make sure I get time for me and stuff like that, and I'm not just gonna, Uncle Mark, be quiet. Okay.
Well, hold on. I know what he's doing, and I want to ask this question. Anna, Rachel, y'all have children?
I have a son.
Um,
I have a bonus kid.
Was there your husband or your significant other came home and it was his turn with the child or your turn with the child? Did that ever happen? Was there
At the time, my ex-husband, we were both active duty.
Okay.
So, there was no. I had a job, 6 weeks off. That was it. Back in the olden days, not like this 3 months like there is now, which is great. But of course, I'm bitter about it because
Yeah.
But no, my son was in daycare, probably starting at 6 weeks until he was school age.
Mhm.
I had a job like that. I wanted to work. That's how I would support him.
Yep.
Because
But when she's saying when
no, I was mom all the time. There was no
And
I'm going
the
grocery
dad.
shopping.
you could just hand it off to the dad.
not really. No,
That's what he's
no.
asking you.
I didn't have that. No.
What, did you try to make a plan to be like, hey, your turn with the kid?
We
I'm
could
home
try.
from work. It's
Yeah,
your
yeah, sure.
Yes and no, but my ex-husband did shift work also. So
Okay.
he left earlier than me and he got home later than me and he did emergency services. And so it was no, I didn't have that luxury. No, yes, please.
He plans on getting a 9 to 5. That's why I say my plan's gonna work. Okay.
Arliss, how many kids you got?
I just had the one.
Just the one. And she was born before you went in the military?
Yeah, during.
During
Yeah.
were you deployed for any of her did you get to spend all your time at home with your child?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Were you ever deployed during her being young?
Just the time when she was just born, when we were in Panama.
Okay.
But other than that, I was pretty much, home with her and stuff.
Did you guys get the co-parent kind of like your wife would come home and say, hey, it's your turn with the baby? Or
my wife actually stayed home the whole
Okay.
time with her.
Okay. So mine is my oldest daughter. When she was born, I left for deployment 1 week later. 2 weeks later. Thank you. So I got to see her birth, and that was pretty much it. And then I deployed, and I was gone for 6 months. when I came back, the baby was already crawling and gooing and guying and stuff like that, right? Then we fast forward to my second daughter 4 years later. I was on shore duty, so I got to spend a little bit more time with her, but there was never where I came home and my wife's like, all right, your turn to deal with your kid because I've been here all day with her. It was like, hey, you're home now. And I was like, yeah, I'm tired. And when you have kids, Jill, that this is when you're gonna find out, like, I have a plan. It's not working.
No.
I know you're gonna have to be flexible and things like that, and I know that I have a rose-colored vision on it because I'm only 19, so I'm turning 20 soon, but like I don't have like I have an idealistic idea and I don't know everything yet, and I'm not gonna claim that I know everything. It's just more I have this idea, and to an extent, like, yeah, my husband's gonna get home. If he's tired, of course I'm gonna let him do his own thing. But on the weekends and stuff like that, I'm gonna be like, hey, listen, I've had them for a very long time. Could you please take some time, deal with your kids because they're yours too. Mama's gonna go do some shit on her own.
I don't think you should
Because-
say. I don't. Not deal with your kids. Raise your kids. Like
Yes.
Right,
would
that's
always
what
say,
I
like,
mean. That's what I mean.
yes, and I'm a verbiage thing because it was always brought up to me, like, don't use absolutes, blah blah blah. But like where my ex-husband, you babysit your child. You're not babysitting.
Oh, I
your
hate.
child.
I don't like that word.
Yes,
Babysit
you're
your child.
raising your child and be with your child. But my situation, absolutely different. And you know what? You're not going to know everything at 19. And cool, but so be it. But we've learned now that we're married and our son is grown and he's an adult. Your relationship, like, I don't want to say ever and completes me because, like, I love her, but no, like, together we are 100%.
Yeah.
And we should try to always be 50-50. But if we're not, like, I forgot my meds in another state yesterday. And so I was not going to be 100%. I wasn't going to be 50% today. And so she kind of had to pick up my slack. And that's the thing is, you know, if your husband were to come home, Jillian, and say, I had a really rough day, I'm at 25% today, you can be 75. You know, you step up to be the 75. But together you make 100. So if you're not feeling it, if they're not feeling it, cool. But sorry, I'm trying to read that. So stay at home if that's what you wanna
Stay at
do.
home mom.
Yeah, it is the constant. Yeah, like I don't relate to stay at home moms because that's not what I did. I raised my son in the military.
But kind of the
Yeah, stay at home, you know, like I left my son when he was 3 years old and I went to Korea for a year. And then I did it again when he was 8. And then I deployed when he was turning 13. So,
Oh Lord, 13 was rough.
you know, but that's a choice that I made to support my family. And so to each their own, and I hope it works for you. And I don't want to sound old and jaded and bitter, but
We're not trying to discourage anybody. We're only just telling you our
yes, that was my
our
experience.
scenarios because
Yeah.
scenarios
Yeah.
change. The scenarios
And it's-
change constantly. So
Absolutely. And then the Air Force, all the military, it's so different. Like
Mhm.
we retired in 2020, and it's even so different from then to now. Like my best friend is still active duty, and it's wild. It's just wild. So things are ever evolving and making it better. And so, and if that works out, like from going from maternity leave from 6 weeks to 3 months, absolutely awesome. But so it's just, you know what, I hope it all works out. Like I want it to. Like, yes, go do you. You be you. Like know who you are young and make that choice. And I can't
just
imagine going through Marine boot camp. Like let me tell you.
I just like giving her shit when she tells me, you know,
I'm glad that you have a plan. I
like
just
that.
want to let you know
Mhm.
your best laid plans will crumble. So have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I will
we
say
don't-
I'll give her props though. At 19 years old, at least she's got a plan.
Absolutely.
There's a
gosh,
lot of
yeah.
19-year-old kids out there and stuff that don't have
Have a baby.
no idea.
And it's
But
not
at
like
least
I'm
she
gonna
has a
have
plan.
kid-
I'm gonna have to call
I'm not
your
gonna
mom,
have a kid in the
Jillian.
next year or two or anything like that. Though I keep making jokes because my friend here, she has a kid, so I'm around them a lot. So I'm like, oh, I want a kid, but it's a joke. I know I'm too young to have one, and mentally speaking, you're not fully mature until around 21 to 25 years old, and I don't want a kid when I'm still developing because then I can just
Jill,
it's just not good.
I'm 47 and my wife still says I'm not mature.
Yeah, I've got that same problem, Mark.
Same.
It's more along the lines of like for men and stuff like that, they're not emotionally mature like immature until
I don't
like
want to be mature.
around
I want to go back to
25.
being an adult. I don't want to be an adult anymore. I want to go back to being a kid.
Same.
I'm just
Dude,
talking,
I'd
like,
start
the
all over again.
physiology
Right?
of
Can I
it.
just ride
Oh,
my
no,
roller
in
skates
my
around
era,
the-
yes, but not. I would not want to be a kid now.
Oh yeah, no.
But listen, if you guys, every single one of y'all on this panel, if you had a chance to go back and do it all over again, would you make the same decisions? Would you change anything? You would
No.
change little things here and there, right?
There's a few things I would change, but I'm not going to say them on here.
Your underwear doesn't count, Mark. That's like you should do that.
No, I wouldn't change anything.
Not a thing, not one little thing, like where you're like, oh man, I wish I'd have done this instead of that.
No.
There's got to be something.
No,
No.
because to
Nothing.
change anything, I wouldn't be where I'm at now.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, I would like to have my hip back, but other than that,
See, you changed something then.
yeah, but that would change a lot of other things. So
No, I wouldn't change anything for the simple reason, like Mark said, the journey that I have taken has led me on the path where I'm at now.
Yeah.
My life experiences has given me plenty of material to wind up writing a lot of music for a while. And the crazy things, the stuff that we do, as the band on the road, it's things, there's things that we don't never take for granted. When we go to new places, we go do the tourist stuff. We stop, we take time, we go to see things. And music's gotten, me to that point. But if it wasn't for the journey that I've had throughout my career, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. So no, I would not change a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And Rachel?
No, you had your hand raised.
So, well, I'm a different breed. I wouldn't change anything, but I would change one part of my career because I started out as a security forces member, a cop, MA, as you will.
Yep.
And then, but I got hurt, so then I went to civil engineering and did customer service. I could give two craps that your air conditioning doesn't work in your office. It's nice outside. Go take a walk. And then, but I probably want to change one thing, potentially. My last four, I ended up retiring out as MTI, drill sergeant. But I think I would have tried to go into that career field a little sooner.
Okay.
Because I went in the last 4 years of my life, or the 4 years of my military career.
Life. Your military life.
I'm at 16 years in, and they're sending me like, dang, really? I'm 36 years old. You want me to do all this? We're the smartest branch, but we're stupid when it comes to that part of BMT, and that's probably for another show for you. However, still being able to talk to my trainees or recruits to this day and see them and see how much they've grown. That stuff I wouldn't know. I would have changed it sooner for the better, like for me, knowing that I could help these undisciplined civilians change into warrior airmen of character, or the Marines or your sailors, whatever the case may be. You watch that transition from undisciplined civilian, you don't know you're from the hole in the ground, to where, you have customs and courtesies, you learn some respect, you have confidence in yourself. That's more rewarding than the rest of my career.
I had a fireman that I trained for probably 2 to 3 years of his career.
Mm.
He is now, and has been for quite some time, the sheriff of Natchez County, Mississippi.
Where?
Natchez County, I think is what.
Natchez County. Where's that at?
Natchez County?
Yeah, Natchez County.
That's up north Mississippi.
Oh, you're in northern Mississippi. We're down by Harrison County, south.
So he's the sheriff of Natchez. Yeah.
If I get into problems here, I just call him.
Do you know Travis Patton? Yep.
Oh, like the Patton himself.
Yes, kind of like General Patton.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
Great.
yeah, I trained him as one of my firemen, and then all throughout his career, I remember he was like, well, I think I'm going to get out and I want to go be. He wanted to be a armed security guard for like the Brinks truck for Brinks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he
Cool.
so he wanted to buy a handgun from me, so I sold him a handgun so that he could train with
What'd you
his
sell him?
handgun. I sold him back then. It was a CZ
All right.
9mm.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it was just one that I had, and I was like, oh, here you go. So I don't know. Next thing I know, years down the road, here we are, and I'm like, this man ran for sheriff. I remember him running specifically. I saw it all over my Facebook, and I was like,
Why haven't we got him on the show then?
yeah, good luck.
Ooh, burn.
Good luck. Good luck. He's a sheriff for.
Okay.
You think you're gonna get him?
No, that's your
Have you ever
fucking
reached
job.
out? Didn't you reach out to Grady Judd?
Yeah, I have.
Is he on the show yet?
Well, this one's supposed to be your friend, though.
I'll reach out. I'll reach out to him. You want me to? I'll reach out to him.
I'll send Grady Judd another message.
You get Grady Judd on the show. So
So he's a
Okay.
sheriff in northern Mississippi.
Natchez, Mississippi. His name is Travis Patton.
Yeah, we were at the Landers Center in South Haven, Mississippi.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to reach out to him and see if we can't get him on the show, and then everybody that's in Mississippi or knows Mississippi or travels Mississippi, maybe we'll be able to say, hey, we saw you on Talking Shit. I think it's the name of the show. Not a lot of people want to come on the show because it's talking shit.
And we have a lot of people that
They
love
think
this.
we're going to talk shit about them. We're not going to talk shit. We just talk shit about Jillian. That's the only one.
Oh man, if that's the case, we got all kinds of retirees that would talk. Can I? Sorry.
Of course.
Jillian, when at your duty stations, they ever talk to you about joining the VFW or American Legion? Or you don't know what I'm talking about?
Not really.
What the February? See? So as the oldies, as we know, the American Legion and or the VFW, because you have to go to a foreign war, be in wartime to attend the VFW, but anybody can join the American Legion. So you can join the American Legion and the VFW, and or if you don't get the opportunity for a deployment, you can still be at the American Legion. And that's all just military people.
They're veterans organizations
Yeah.
that are very much alive in all towns, or
Especially in
counties, I'll
Hawaii.
say. I would imagine, yeah.
Especially the little towns like you're in Hawaii for the younger kids. So if you talk to your fellow jarheads,
Soldiers. They're
I
soldiers.
feel
They're
like
all
I've heard
soldiers.
of it. Soldier.
that's something to look into. Soldier, that's an army.
Oh, Marine. Sorry. Marine.
Bro, she's about to knock you out.
I know. Listen, VFW is Veterans of Foreign Wars. It's
Yeah.
absolutely
There you go.
fantastic for you.
Yeah,
Whether you're in or out of the military.
Mhm.
I think she could still go. She gets to go because she's a current member
Exactly.
of the military, of the armed forces.
Yeah.
So you can attend those places. Now I will tell you, a lot of it is bar stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like our American Legion here and our VFW post, they run Show Me the Money, which is a game that you can go in and play. And it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like bingo, but for people our age, younger people our age, right, ladies?
Yeah.
So we don't play bingo. We play Show Me the Money, and it's all cash money. Like you get cash, and then at the same time they come around and they'll give you like a ticket, a free ticket. And if they call off your number during the middle of the game, you win something at the bar. So they'll be like, hey, you get a free drink or you get a free
And
meal
sometimes
or
they
something like
post
that.
Dinner specials.
That
Like,
2.5 or 1.5 years, I think I'll be able to do that.
yeah, because
For that,
sometimes
she's
they
only
have.
19. She's only 19.
But sometimes they'll even host dinner specials. So it's like a spaghetti dinner for a fellow military member's family or whatever the case may be. And it's
They
like
do
$5 a plate.
They do comedy shows.
Yeah. So, but
Mhm.
I only
That's
asked
pretty funny
about
guy.
that because the MTI, a lot of these kids, especially the younger people, her generation, whatever you are, they're social media bound.
Yeah.
Rather than the older people, we'd go to the Legion and to the VFW and sit and hang out, or they just want to hang out over social media and not. But we're
They do
losing that.
karaoke. I'll go.
They do it. They do
Yeah, they do that.
But we're at risk of losing both of those programs because it's kind of died off since Gen Xers, are we?
We're Gen Xers, yeah.
Yeah. So for us, like our offsprings, hence Homegirl,
Yep,
We're-
yep.
they're
You
losing
gotta,
it.
you gotta go. You gotta scope it. You gotta scope it out.
But especially on the European side and foreign bases.
Oh gosh, I don't think it's over there.
Well, like Europe, they don't have the Legion and stuff at Europe, but when you go to Europe, they have the base clubs.
Oh well, yeah.
The NCO clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, NCO clubs.
Yeah.
Whatever they have at Hawaii.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't remember, but yeah.
Save your money and take it.
Yeah.
Save your money and stay on base.
Yeah.
Well,
What I do. I go
but I
shopping
think
for
you'll get-
food and that's it.
yeah. I would take advantage. The one thing, so I was stationed overseas for 10 years straight between Korea and European bases. And I did not travel as much as I wanted to because, well, we had a lot of credit card debt, but that's a different story. But I would say, like, you are on Hawaii, like, and you are being paid to be there, and you have weekends off, and it sounds like you have time, which is totally awesome, and you have a friend who has a child, which is cool. Go travel. Go to, like, I don't know if you've been to the Dole Plantation yet, or, like, go do things. Like, go to the North Shore in February. Yeah, like, take the trips. Because I was in Europe for so long, and we didn't travel enough. Like, I would go back, and this sounds awful, only, like, when you're overseas, whether it be Hawaii or Europe or PACAF or wherever, or what do they call it? Anyway,
I think they call
only come back for weddings and funerals. Like, don't visit your parents as lovely as they are. And Mom, if you're still online, I'm sorry to say this, you go visit her. Like, travel. Like, how often are you going to be able to go back to Hawaii? Like, damn near all expenses paid. Like, just drive around the island and go do things. Because that's the one thing that, man, let me tell you how much I'm spending on travel right now to go do the things that I could have done. Like, we've been to Europe 2-3 times.
All right,
Okay,
Steph.
Mom. Yeah. We've been to Europe at least 2 or 3 times since we've retired, visiting military friends. And I want to go to Europe, and we spend a month there because the cost of a plane ticket, and then, but travel, like, go to Maui, go, snorkeling with the turtles, go to the North Shore in February so you could see all the waves and, like, the surfing competitions, and go to that garlic food truck, the garlic shrimp food truck. It's super expensive. It's like $25 a plate.
You know what you're talking about?
So good. I'm telling
On
you.
the North Shore.
North Shore, and there's a garlic shrimp food
You
truck.
were there when she
When
was
I lived off
like
base, I lived near it.
I'm talking to her now.
Hey, real quick, to save money on travel,
Yeah.
MAC flights are available. I don't know if you've looked into those or not.
Yeah.
MAC flights are available. Do you know what that is, Jillian?
Yeah, space. Oh, well.
It's space available flights from, so like a military installation like Hawaii, where they're going to fly out some troops, and they may be flying to Orlando, Florida, right? You can jump that flight if there's space available on that flight for nothing, right? Is it free?
$30.
It's
$30.
Stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
super
dumb
cheap.
money.
Typically, it's a C5 or KC-135.
Yep.
I've been on a 17, I think.
It was the first time my wife got to fly anywhere. We left Jersey. We left New Jersey and flew to California on a Max.
Oh yeah,
She flew on a 17, so
I
maybe
think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
SpaceX is super cool. The only conditions is you have to be on leave when you sign up, and then I've learned the hard way. You have to be able to potentially buy a plane ticket to get back to be in time for work, unless your work is very lenient and will extend your leave.
like yours was.
Yeah. Well, no, I had to. So I was trying to get from Germany to Jersey, and I got from Germany to Delaware. And so we had to rent a car and drive up. But then on the way home, I had like tickets in hand to get on the plane and go back to Germany to Ramstein
No space available.
on space available travel. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, it's packed or it's only cargo only. And so my plane tickets were worth nothing. And then we got on a flight, and this, I think when it was a 17, got me to Spangdahlem, which is like 2 hours away from Germany, but it got me back in the country. So I got back in the country, but then we had to take a train or a taxi. I think we took a train from Spangdahlem to Ramstein, and then a taxi from the train station back on base to get our car, which was at the PAX terminal. It's an adventure. It's a super fun adventure. Do it before you have kids.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, but it's like a super Arliss. I'll sure.
I hated to interrupt, but I do have to run. I have a radio interview here in about 2 minutes. So,
All right.
Arliss, thank you, buddy, for coming on and being a part of the show as always. You're
We
super
still
great
got,
doing
we
that.
still got to get the band back on so that you guys could.
Yeah, you
do
guys
your-
want to
your-
play live?
Yeah,
sure.
We'll
figure that out.
Let everybody real quick before you go. Let everybody know where they can find you.
They can find our music on every streaming platform out there. Just look up The Southern Outlaws Band. Our website is thesouthernoutlawsband.com. Plus, we're on Facebook and everything else. And you can also look up my name on Facebook. Just look for the blue check. That's me. And one nice thing, since this is a military show, if you do check out Red, White, and Blue, that is available on all the streaming platforms, 100% of all proceeds from that song goes to the disabled American veterans.
Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much, Arliss. We're gonna
Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
It was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
meeting you guys.
Yes.
You be safe over there in Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Don't catch a wave too hard.
Mark.
What's that?
So where'd you find this cool guy, Uncle Mark? How is he friends with you?
I've met a lot of great people on here doing this.
You're welcome.
And he's one of them.
Arliss, thank
It
you
was
again, buddy. It's always our pleasure.
I'll get with you sometime here soon, and we'll figure out something.
Yeah, definitely reach out.
All right.
Take care.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
buddy. Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Arliss Walker, the Southern Outlaws Band and former Army soldier. And what do you say, SWAT? SWAT.
SWAT commander.
SWAT commander.
SWAT commander,
Deputy
dude.
sheriff and SWAT commander.
SWAT
Craziness.
commander is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a pretty bad. Yeah, you got to be pretty badass to be a SWAT.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
All hours of the
Yeah,
night
that-
working. You catch bad guys when they least expect it.
While they're sleeping. That's what you're big.
Yeah.
I have to go break down their door while they're sleeping, or
You're trying to
doing
get that beauty sleep. No.
or doing a lot of crank in the living room floor.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I love
Mark
you,
couldn't
Uncle
handle
Mark.
Yeah. I'll actually send you.
I'm gonna head out.
All right, I'll send you the pictures now.
She's gonna make
Okay,
like
thank you.
she's gonna make like a baby and head out.
Tell
Bye.
Jake.
Hopefully
Tell,
make you doing
hey,
good luck.
wait. Tell Jake I said hi, and the next time that we have one, I'm not sure when we're going to do one. Hopefully, we can try to convince him to come on for a few minutes.
Hey, real
Yeah.
quick too. If you do end up getting pregnant, I'm not saying
Hey! I don't want my sister yelling at me.
For your
She'll come
baby.
to your house.
for your baby reveal, can we just have a box of crayons handed to us so that we can just open it up and find that one?
Yeah. Shut up and color. There you go. Or we can do Coconut Smile. So whatever.
Yeah,
you want to
stay safe, Jill. If you
Yeah.
need anything, you
Sorry.
gotta reach out to us for sure.
All
Especially
right.
Rachel,
Have
you
a
need some
great
help.
evening, you guys.
Thanks, you too.
Later, Joe.
Must be rough living in Hawaii.
And then there were two. It's got to be rough, right? Like, is she on base housing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just got into base housing. She just got it. I think
Or
the
was
last
she
couple
getting?
weeks.
Or was she? I was gonna say, was she getting BAH and then like paying for a place
No,
downtown?
sounds like she's
They
on
did
base
have
housing.
they did have a place, and then they got base housing, so they moved there.
Yeah.
Base housing's better than BAH, quite
Well,
honestly.
especially because she's so young and rank.
Yeah,
It's
you don't
probably-
get nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
But mill
got
to mill. But mill to mill.
Oh yeah.
It's probably anyway.
Have you met the husband?
Yeah, I have.
All right.
They graduated together.
Elecanto?
No,
Chris
Chris
River.
River.
no, yeah.
All right.
Isn't that crazy? Like they went to school together, they
Right.
joined the same branch, and now they married.
Yeah.
That's
That's
kind of
crazy.
crazy. That is kind of
I
crazy.
haven't really
He's
seen people from high school.
He's really nice. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. All right. Good.
We were all nice guys at one point, Mark.
My wife will tell you different.
Oh.
Anne's a nice gal.
I've known her for a long time. I know she's not nice.
She was.
I
she
give
was
it right back to her though.
Yeah.
I've been hot like fire lately, right? I'm sharp.
so I think Ann and I only got to hang out when Mark lived over off of
At my mom's house.
at your mom's. What was
Lecanto, right?
and
Yeah.
yeah, in Lecanto. Yeah, and I think we were all scrimmaging, playing football in the yard and stuff like that. When we were little.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Ethel's kids.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a good time.
Vaguely.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
I got
We go
hurt a
back
lot.
Then we go back a long ways, man.
A long ways. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you known Mark? Since when?
I met her when I was 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the 90s then.
Yeah.
It was the 90s. Yeah.
So she was about to say 2000.
I was thinking. Yeah, 93, 94. Yeah.
Yeah, because we watched the Cowboys win their last Super Bowl
Yeah.
together.
Last ever. Yeah.
Ever. You know what? Here's the thing. They got a really good shot at it.
Oh,
this year.
shut up! I don't want to hear your shit.
They picked up two killer wide receivers. They got
Mark's
George.
really mad because he's a Michigan fan.
Yeah, I know.
Detroit.
What's wrong with that?
Didn't Detroit do good this year?
Yes, they
They
did
did
very
really well.
And then shit in the playoffs.
Yeah, they shit the
But
bed.
they got to the playoffs, right?
Yeah,
I'm a
with-
Buccaneer.
yeah, fuck the Bucks.
What?
I'm a
Shut up!
Buccaneer.
You don't.
And a Gator.
You're. Yeah.
I am a Gator. I am a
My
Gator.
wife, she went
I'm
to
not a.
FSU.
I'm not a huge bug. Oh God, I'm sorry. So you got
What?
both of you in the family?
No. She doesn't really count because she's from New York,
Oh, okay.
upstate, like Hudson Valley. What's the plane that landed in the river?
Oh, the Miracle on the Hudson was
Yeah,
Sully
Miracle.
Sullenberger. On the
That was
Hudson
up by
River.
her area.
Okay.
like New York City.
She likes
It's
the
in the
Yankees
Hudson
too,
River.
right?
What's that?
She likes the Yankees too,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I knew.
Right. My
something-
sisters got married and became Mets fans. I don't know what that's about.
I knew something was wrong with her. A Yankees fan.
I still follow the Indians, so
All right. Well, listen. It has been.
I don't think they're called the Indians anymore, are they?
Yes, they are. They're still.
Exactly.
And they're
I don't
still the
believe-
Washington Redskins too. So fuck right off. I don't care what it.
Yeah.
Commanders. What the fuck, dude? No.
Exactly.
Redskins.
Because now they want to change back the native country, or the natives want them to go
They're
back to
They
yeah.
should have never
Redskins.
changed it.
they're suing them because of the name.
Yep.
They
'Cause it's
disobeyed, kind of like saying you disobeyed Patton. That's
But
what
they're
did.
they're putting the chief back on his on the helmet
Yeah.
for Washington.
The
Oh,
same
okay.
with the Guardian or Indians. We should have done the same thing.
Yeah.
But whatever. Yeah.
But that's a different story.
It's different
Yeah.
podcast.
And if you talk about the latest, like at Florida State, they had the active
shooting?
shooter.
Oh yeah.
She had her best friend is a math professor at the school, and was about maybe 100 yards or less from the building to her office.
What's it called? Whatever it's called.
Student Union.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, in case for future life, and when you do some, a lot of those are coming up, right? The anniversaries.
Oh, yeah.
that. So, yeah. That's all we're doing here, hanging out.
Hanging out. Hey, listen, it was fun hanging out. But
It only took me
We
2.5
normally
years
say-
to get her to come on the
we
show.
normally say, hey, let's do an
I asked
hour.
her every damn time, and she's always had something that she had to do.
That's what I was telling her.
We're too busy as retirees.
We are the busiest retirees you're gonna meet.
You can't be busy anymore.
Oh my!
tired.
Exactly. I
Hey,
want to work in my garden and have a garden.
The next one that we do with a bunch of people will probably be Veterans Day.
Oh,
That'll probably be our next one. So
we'll be home. We'll be home.
if you want to come on, I'll send you the link. I'll let her know ahead of time before we do it. Every
We'll
once
do
in a
it
while,
live from the garden.
hey, I still want to do one from the VFW. So
That's what I say. What if you did one? Yeah, especially Veterans Day. Have
I
Brian hook.
I would love to. I think the camera situation, and we need to have a really good setup for that, Mark. We just got to figure out a
Or-
really good setup.
If you just
hey,
have
I just bought a
yours-
damn house, so I don't want to hear it. I can't do shit.
Right?
Forever. You're not going to do shit forever now.
No,
We're still buying ours, though, so you're good. Catch up.
Yeah.
by a few years, right?
Right,
Like a
yeah.
decade.
But even if we can, we'll try to get the message out sooner, because I hit up some other people, but they were working.
Yeah,
That's good. Listen,
So
we
if you just
appreciate
give us
you
a
putting it
heads
out there.
up.
We
She
will.
can reach out to her people and
Mhm.
even some old school retirees, kind of like our.
Well, that's what we want. We want to try to make this as big as possible,
and
so
Buck
to
and-
try to help it out. And
Yeah.
every so often, sometimes we will throw a show out there for for the military, even some months out before Veterans Day. But we normally do one on Memorial Day and Veterans Day, and for a while there we were doing one a month, but we weren't getting the people on it that we
Well,
wanted.
we opened it up because everybody kept saying, "Oh man, the show. We wish we had more time." And then we said, "Hey, listen, we'll do it once a month. Stop in. Any military people that want to come on, stop in." And then, we'd get one person, and we were like, "Okay, we hang out for
And
an
it
hour."
was-
and that was it.
It
It's
would
the
be
same person over and over again, and it's like,
Yeah.
I love you, brother, but come on.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah,
more. I need more.
don't Wes, when you see this, we're not
Oh,
talking about you.
Whatever, dude. It was always me. I'm that one guy. Yeah, so we will do these more often as military show appreciation shows and stuff like that. As far as the BFW goes, yes, I'll work on that portion of it, Mark. I will get us booked in, but you need to figure out some better equipment. So we need cameras.
Yeah, but I just think because it's going away unless.
Well, that's
Jillian-
where we've been talking about the VFW for a while. We've been
Yeah.
wanting to do one there. I think some of
It
those
costs
stories.
nothing to be a lifetime member. I think it was like $145 to be a lifetime member.
We just did our VFW one because she's got her American Legion way back from Beacon, New York, when she first joined back in 2000
Ish.
ish.
Yeah.
We'll say
We'll say the Bronx. The Bronx.
in the Bronx, New York Bronx. Yeah, that's the
So-
mafia connection, whatever
We
shit.
don't talk about that.
We don't, we don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it. So yes, anybody who's still watching, if you're military, prior military, VFW costs absolutely zero. Literally, it's $165 for life,
A life.
lifetime membership. That's
It's nothing.
not a year. That's lifetime. That's super dirt
Lifetime.
cheap.
Yeah.
And then, listen, I don't know about your guys' area, but mine up here, it's $1.25 a beer.
Yeah,
$1.25 a beer.
Yeah, it's about that. $1.25, two
So-
or less.
We'd like that, Amanda.
I don't know who Amanda is, but you're totally cool. Like I've been looking at your comments, and she's a hoot.
She
I like
she started watching us a couple weeks back, and we love having her
I don't
Yeah,
know if
she's a
in the
hoot.
comments.
I don't know who she is, but she's popped up with comments, and they
Yeah,
were funny.
she
and-
I
won-
love everybody that's been in the comments tonight.
She,
So
she
Oh, yeah.
won some decals, and I sent them out. So like I
Awesome.
said, send me your address. and
yeah,
I'll
send
you
us
some
your
decals.
address. We have these fancy.
I gotta go to Brian's and get some more. Good thing he only lives down the
Not
road.
stickers, decals.
decals.
They're not stickers. They're decals. They're for your
Yeah.
laptop. They're for your computer. They're for your guitar,
Mm.
refrigerator if need be.
Back of a rear view mirror or window.
Rear window, yeah, for your
Yep.
vehicle. Yeah, I got one on my truck.
Yeah.
I got one on my truck.
Yeah.
It's peeling off already.
Oh, I got more. All right, so all right. I think we need to wrap up the show. We were supposed to do an hour and we went an hour over.
Oh snap!
We always we
It's
seem to
okay.
always do that. Every time with the military shows, we seem to go over our allotted time anyway.
Is there anything that you or Ann would like to let the audience know, or would you like to speak on anything else before we let y'all go?
I shouldn't. Other just to say thank you for having us on. We
Absolutely. Thank
appreciate
you for
it.
being
I
a part of the
know
show.
you guys are friends of Ann from before my time, and you know it's wild being retired, but and like I said, I'm old and jaded now, but things are different and they're getting better. But you know, it's nice to reminisce sometimes. But like with Jillian, like it's funny. I have a sister named Jillian with a G, not a J. But yeah, travel when you can. Travel when you can. Travel, because we saw a meme lately, and it says, I guess this is my parting words: the money will return, the memories will not.
I'm waiting for the money to return.
I'm waiting on this damn month, like first of the month, right? First of the month, that's it.
Mark's been on more vacations than I have.
That's because you don't go anywhere.
Yeah, just enjoy it though. You know
So I'm
what?
trying.
Yeah, and be happy. Like you know what? Quality of life. So that's what we're trying to do. Live it up. you
Good
know?
deal.
Hey, you want to see Brian get flustered? Watch this. Hey, Brian, you ready to end the show?
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah, let's do this. Hold on.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, from us here.
No, you're not
What?
doing it.
What
You're
happened?
not doing it. You know the routine.
Oh yeah, there's like a whole like who we got next week.
No,
Next week, Mark.
no, that's not how it works. I put you on the spot.
Oh
Remember?
damn it, dude.
Who do we have June 5th?
Hold on a second.
Next week we're off. We're gonna play a repeat of a show. I don't know what show yet.
So June 5th, we're gonna have Brendan Timmons.
A director.
He's a director from.
He does. He did a fan film for Halloween.
Okay.
And a few other ones.
On June 8th, we're gonna have Brooke Bundy and Tiffany Helms.
They're both actresses. One is from Brooke is from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, and Tiffany is from Friday the 13th Part 5.
And then on the 10th, we're gonna have Tristan Noakes from
The Death of Snow White.
Snow White. Are we gonna get my evil queen as well?
I'm working on that. So is Tristan.
Okay. If you guys have not seen The Death of Snow White or heard about The Death of Snow White, please take a look at that. Check it out. It is fantastic.
Yeah, look it up on YouTube. They got a trailer for it. We've had a lot of people on here for it. I can't wait for June, all of June, really, what we got going.
Packed
And
house.
it should be interesting. Plus, I get to watch Brian squirm a little bit. So,
Why do I gotta squirm?
having that many shows that close together, he doesn't like it. It's fun.
It is whatever. Okay, are you guys good? Is everybody good? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in to this very special episode of Talking Shit. From us here at Talking Shit, my name is Brian.
I'm Mark.
This
I'm
is
Rachel.
Rachel. Where's Ann? Ann left us, so
She did. Oh, she's running back. She's running back
Okay.
in camera.
Sorry, I had to go utilize the latrine.
all right, Ann.
The head.
This is it. This is it. This is where you get to say goodbye to everybody.
Oh, well, yep.
That's about
Thank you
her.
so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Have a
Have
good
a
night.
good night.
Bye.
Aim high.
Bitch, I'm in the